Good afternoon, Facebook. So in this video, I want to talk to you a little bit about nutrition and how important it is to maximize your results in the gym. So as you probably know, nutrition is 80% of your results. Some people say it's less. I tend to think it's 80% because it's not perfect. So ideally, we have to overcompensate with our nutrition for our cheat days and the occasional drinks that we have on the weekends with friends, and ultimately, the mistakes that we make and the hiccups that we have. So that said, if nutrition is 80% of your results, right, and you have 50 pounds to lose, the other 20% is training. So if you have 50 pounds to lose, right, 80% of your results is going to come from nutrition. So if it's 50 pounds, 80% is going to be, testing my math here, 40, right? And 20% is going to be 10. So you may lose 10 pounds from simply training, and the remainder of the weight you need to lose is going to come from nutrition. Now, why am I telling you this? Because nutrition is the most important and crucial part of the puzzle. If you're looking to lose weight, if you're looking to build muscle mass, you have to get your nutrition dialed in. Training is only going to take you so far. It's only going to carry you so far. At some point, your body's going to plateau. Here's the thing. Your body's really good at getting used to what you're doing, right? So if you are starting a new training program, starting a new nutrition program, you may see results initially, right? But what's going to happen is your body's going to figure out what you're doing and going to adapt. Your body's really good at doing that. So the first thing you need to understand is, the first of the 5 things is sustainability, right? You basically have to understand that what you're doing needs to be sustainable. So that's why, especially here at the gym, we do not preach 6-week crash diets. We do not preach, you see like a lot of these like juicing products that guarantee weight loss and all these things, and that's great. And yeah, it may work, but the bottom line is what happens after the 6 weeks is you're stuck, right? You don't know what to do after those initial 6. So you might lose some weight in the beginning, but there's no sustainability to what you're doing. Anybody can crash diet for 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, anybody can do it. It's sustainable for that little amount of time. But ultimately, if you have 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 pounds to lose, like some people do, that 6 weeks is just not going to cut it. Okay. The second thing I want to talk to you a little bit about is shiny object syndrome. So what am I talking about when it comes to shiny object syndrome? All that shiny shit you see being promoted on Facebook or at supplement stores, like even this stuff, right? Shiny objects. And I'm going to tell you why they're shiny objects. Because this stuff doesn't matter until you're eating right. That's why we do not push supplements on people here. We're not going to push a pre-workout or protein shake's a little bit different, but because you can kind of integrate that with your nutrition program, but when you're seeing like fat loss pills and you're seeing pre and post workout, that stuff's great, right? I'm not opposed to taking that, but if your nutrition is not dialed in, all these shiny objects, you have to understand, like when it comes to crash diets and when it comes to different diets that to me are fad diets, like ketogenic diets, things like that, they're not sustainable long term. You cannot go forever without eating a carb. You're grasping at these shiny things because you're hoping to not have to do the work that's involved to get the results that you want. So yes, supplements are great. We love these supplements here. I use these supplements myself. But if you are not eating right, this is considered a shiny object. Another one is step count. I mean, this isn't a step counter, but step counters, right? You're hoping that your steps are going to help you lose weight. It's bullshit. All right, get your nutrition dialed in first. Can it help? Maybe, but it's negligible. Okay? Shiny object syndrome. When you are, if you're tracking your heart rate and your nutrition is not dialed in, shiny object syndrome. So all these things that these companies want you to feel like you are getting something out of, you're not necessarily getting anything out of it because you're not fueling your body for your workouts. It's just not. You're going back. You're going about it backwards. Okay, you're focusing on the minuscule things first. And the really big thing that's in front of your face that you need to do, you're not doing it, right? Because it's hard. It's not easy. The third thing that you need to understand is no diet is perfect, okay? So if there's one supplement that I would tell you to figure out, or everybody should take. It's some sort of multivitamin, multimineral supplement, okay? Now, most multivitamin and multimineral supplements are garbage, and the reason being is because they're synthetic forms. Your body doesn't process them properly, if it absorbs it at all. A lot of times, hard-pressed tablets, your body passes them without even breaking them down. If you don't believe me, after you take your vitamin, go check the toilet. I guarantee you it's probably in there. So one multi that we use here, I use myself, our nutritionist Megan uses it, is ID Nutrition. The reason we use that one is because it's based upon an assessment that you take. You fill out a very lengthy, it's not complicated, but you fill out a very lengthy assessment, and it builds the multivitamin, multimineral for you. It gives you your fish oil, your probiotic, your vitamin D based on your height, your weight. I have joint support in mine because I'm all jacked up from lifting. It has recovery enzymes in there. So based on what you answer in this assessment, it builds the multivitamin for you. So if you're not eating right, obviously, this is going to help fill in your gaps. I wouldn't worry about any of this other stuff. Creatine, I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about pre and post workout. Get your eating dialed in first and fill in the gaps with your ID Nutrition or with your multivitamin. But that's the one that we use here. That's the one that I've used. I've been using it for 4 years. I don't plan on stopping. All right. The next thing you have to understand is the beauty is in the breakdown. Okay. What do I mean by that? So just because a certain diet works for someone doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So yes, it can work. It doesn't necessarily mean you're getting the best results out of it. So breakdown, when I talk about breakdown, I'm talking about macronutrients, right? So somebody who trains and has a really fast metabolism could metabolize carbs differently than you. Maybe they can get away with more carbs. If you don't believe me on that, take a look at one of your kids, if you have kids, 16, 18, 20 years old, and they can eat whatever they want, and they still have a six-pack, and they don't work out, and they look like they work out, right? So their body kind of processes foods differently. So the breakdown is all dependent on figuring out what your body needs, okay? How much protein your body needs, how much fat your body needs, how many carbs per day your body needs or per meal, how you're going to break down your meals, okay? A lot of people do fasting now. They fast in the morning, they eat in the evening. That works. You could do 5 meals a day. That shit works too. I know personally I've gotten really lean doing both, but you have to figure out what breakdown is going to fit your lifestyle. There's no perfect solution. So to wrap this all up, okay, the last thing I want to talk to you about is who's driving. Who's driving your car? Funny story, real quick. I'm sure you guys have a little time. So my wife went to pick up my brother-in-law years ago from college in Florida. And I think my wife flew down and drove back with him or something like that. So they're driving back. And they added like 10 hours or 8 hours onto their trip because they drove up Florida and then somehow managed to drive like across the panhandle. And like nobody told them that like New Jersey is like north and not west. So, if I was in the car, I'd be pissed off because they don't know where they're going, right? So I would want to take the wheel, correct them, and show them where to go. So when I say who's driving your car, who is driving your nutrition program, right? Is it you? Which is good, right? Maybe you have a book or some recipes or some things that you are implementing in your daily routine or weekly routine. But ultimately, if you're not sure, or if you're not getting the results that you want, it's time to hand the wheel to somebody else. So you're not driving across that panhandle and adding extra time to your trip, right? Because ultimately, this weight loss thing and this getting in shape thing and this fitness thing is a journey. And you don't want to add any unnecessary time to that. Let's face facts. If you're above 30, you're not getting any younger. And it gets harder every year to lose weight. So if you're not getting the results that you want, it's time to hand the wheel over to somebody else, okay? And there's some good things to that, all right? Yes, it's going to cost money, but the good thing about investing in a nutrition program is that if you spend money for it, you're going to fucking do it, right? Most people, I shouldn't say that. That doesn't happen all the time. But most people, it's going to keep you accountable, all right? And when somebody else takes the wheel and they basically drive you like a limousine service, they take you from point A to point B, And all you have to do is sit in the car and follow directions. You don't have to figure out your carb breakdown. You don't have to figure out your protein breakdown. You don't have to figure out whether you should fast or not. You don't have to figure out whether you should stay away from certain foods, because certain foods for some people are inflammatory and they're negating the results that you want to get, but you don't realize. You may have a food allergy or something, or some medication you're taking is fighting for absorption with the food that you're taking, so you have to do something about that. And this is stuff that you have to give to a professional, okay? And I'm not talking about me, all right? I have a good grasp on nutrition, but I am talking about Megan. She works here. She's awesome, okay? If you see behind me, there's some binders. These aren't all of them. She has some at home, I'm sure. She's working on some. But you have to understand it's time to give it up to somebody else, okay? And I trust Megan 150% because I actually signed my wife up with her. I hired Megan for my wife, my beautiful wife, Kim, who's going to be working with Megan as well. So I'm just trying to drop some knowledge on you guys because I think there is, you all know what you need to do, right? And between doing the crash diets and not doing things that are sustainable over time. Listen, we want you to have beer. We want you to have pizza. We want you to have, Jameson is very popular here at the gym amongst the lifters who PR. But we want you to have a drink once in a while. We want you to live a little bit. And that's what sustainability is all about. It's about balance. It's about taking, things that you enjoy and figuring out how you can put them in with the things that you actually need to do. Okay? Not everybody is going to eat chicken and broccoli for the next 20 years. It's not possible. You could do it for 6 weeks, do it for 8 weeks, but you can't do it forever. So it's about balance and figuring out how you're going to balance that. Shiny object syndrome, right? We talked about that a little bit. Don't shoot for the shiny stuff and forget what actually matters. Okay? A lot of the supplements, they do work, but you're spending money on something that you could spend on nutrition coaching. Okay? Don't come to me and ask me for a pre-workout if you have to lose 50, 60, 70 pounds and you're not eating right. Okay? I'm not going to sell it to you. The idea here is to do what you need to do. Again, fill in the gaps, right? No nutrition program is perfect, especially now. Our foods, I don't want to say they're watered down, but if you don't know what you're eating and you don't know where it's coming from, the nutritional profile of foods today is much different than it was. So you have to figure out how you're going to fill in your nutritional gaps. And that's why we use ID Nutrition here. That's why I use it. That's why Megan uses it. It's awesome. If you guys, I'm going to link up the assessment down below too. So in the comment section, if you're interested in that, we actually have 30% off coupons for people who are interested. So just shoot a comment down below and let me know if you want to check that out, and I'll be in touch. And then again, the beauties of the breakdown. Make sure that you're taking the right macronutrients in at the right times. Figure out how you're going to break down your meals. Fasting, not fasting. 5 meals a day, 4 meals a day. Carbs in the evening, carbs in the morning. You need somebody to figure all that out for you. And the bottom line is, there are things, let's face facts, there are things you can probably cut out of your day that you could take that money and invest in nutrition coaching. Okay? Because I don't know about you, when I need help with something, I hire a coach. And I've recently hired a coach for something that I need help with. So it's time to let somebody else take the wheel, guys, so you're not spending more time on this hamster wheel and not getting the results that you want to get and the results that you deserve. Okay, we're not getting any younger. Our metabolisms are not the same as they were when we were in our teens and our 20s, and I hear that all the time from men and women that come in here, and it's the truth. So let somebody else take the wheel. Let's do this. If you're interested in nutrition coaching, I'm going to comment down below with a form, all right? And you can sit down with Megan, and I'll tell you what, We'll figure out a day and time for Megan to reach out to you personally and to set up a time to talk with you. But she is the best. We're very lucky to have her here. And that's all I got, guys. Sorry for a little hard truth, but I'm only doing this because I love you guys and I care about you, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.